please fix these things, JLV, my dude. So there's some things on MX Simulator that have frustrated the living shit out of me for as long as I've been playing this game, and a lot of those little frustrating things have never changed for whatever reason. And yes, some of them are small, some of them are tedious little things, but it's just so, they're so like, I just don't even know how they're not changed. Like, I don't understand that. It's like there's no point in them being the way that they are, right? That's kind of my whole side of it. So let's just start off right off the bat with the mini-map. So before I even get into this, my first sort of thought about the mini-map is, why do we have a mini-map? I mean, honestly, in a simulator, it's all about realism. It's what it's all about. I just don't feel like the mini-map really even has a place. Like, yeah, I understand you want a mini-map, so it's kind of like a gaming sort of integration type of thing. It's like, oh, you're hopping on this new custom track. Here's the mini-map, so you know where you're going. But in all reality, I don't like it. You know, I don't like it. A big reason why I don't like it is the fact that they have sort of integrated and changed the rules of pro racing based on the minimap. So like now, if you don't look at your minimap before you come back on the track and someone runs into you, then you could get suspended for that. You could get protested for that. So it's like, really? You're going to force me to look at a mini-map, which is something I would never ever do in real life. Like, could you imagine if you had a mini-map in real life over there to the side on in your helmet, and you're like, okay, wait, I can't get back on the track. I got to look over there at my little mini-map. Okay, yeah, that's what I can do. Okay, cool. It's like, what the fuck? Like, if this is a simulator and you're going for realism, you should for damn sure not base your rules around looking at the mini-map. That is just stupid. I've never understood that rule in pro racing on MX Simulator. That should not be, you should not base your rules around the minimap at all. If you want to have rules around actually being careful getting back on the track and stuff like that, then put an actual option to where you can turn your head in the game. That's what you need to be doing in this game, not making rules around looking at your mini-map before you get back on the track. Like, let us actually turn our heads somehow. That's what they do in real life. If they are going to have their mini-map, which it seems like they are, what I think they should do with it is they really need to go in there and adjust and change upon what you're actually seeing on the mini-map. I'm not really sure why, like as it is right now, if I'm not mistaken, basically there's these little dots or points on the mini-map that are, I think they're white, that show the other riders that are on the track, and then you are the red arrow. Okay, so first of all, why the hell am I a massive red arrow on the minimap to where I can't see anybody else that is directly around me? This is one of the most frustrating things that I just, oh my God, I don't understand how JLV thought this was a good idea. So, you know, in Supercross or in pro racing in general, you're going to have people right on your ass bumper. I'm talking right behind you, especially when they're coming up for a pass. Well, if you look on your mini-map, you see how the red arrow, you know how an arrow actually has the bottom part of the arrow, right? Well, that completely blocks being able to see the white dot of the other riders that are right behind you, directly behind you. So if you look up there on your mini-map trying to look to see if someone's about to run into you or run up the inside, you can't tell because your fucking red arrow is covering that. So, and it's just so pointless and stupid. Like, really, why am I not like just a different colored dot that's the same size of every other dot? Why do I have to be this humongous red arrow that blocks all my vision of seeing where the other riders are on the minimap? Oh, it's just so stupid. It's just, yeah, it's a small nitpicky thing, but at the same time, it's so stupid that it's like that, and that's how a lot of the things are on this little list here. Sure, they're small, minute things in the grand scheme of things, but they're so like silly and stupid that I just don't see why they're not changed. So that's one thing right there. And then another thing, if you don't know, basically all the other white dots are the other riders except the leader. The leader is a green dot. Well, I don't see why they don't have it to where, like, let's just say you're a lapper, right? And there's a bunch of people behind you about to lap you. Well, if they're on a different lap than you and you're a lapper, why don't they show them as blue dots on the mini-map. That would be another good idea right there, if you're going to have the mini-map. Like I said before, I would rather not have a mini-map at all. That's just me. But I'm saying, if you're going to have a mini-map, you need to make it to where you're color coding that a little better, and that'll make it to where you can get out of the way of other riders easier that are lapping you. You can be like, you can look up there at your mini-map and be like, okay, the 5 guys behind me are blue dots instead of white dots, so I know they're going to be lapping me, so I can get out of the way of those dudes, because sometimes it is really hard to tell who's lapping you and who's in the position, especially if you're in, like, 10th position and you're getting lapped. It's like hard to tell who's who, and then it's hard to race them, and it's something that is just such an easy fix and an easy change. Just change that red arrow to either a black dot to show you as the rider, or and then going in there and coloring the white dots, blue dots that are people that are lapping you. It'd be so easy to fix that issue. That's what I'm trying to say here. So either way, that's my little mini-map spiel there. Let's move on to something else here. So there is something that is so annoying in MX Simulator. Oh, I just scratch my head at it every time it happens. So, when you get on a race and someone else disconnects in the middle of the track, right? They just leave the lobby, they leave the server, whatever. Well, it sort of leaves this, like, ghost rider where they left the server. It, like, leaves it there. It doesn't go away. So let's just say you had a dude go into a corner where there's a bunch of ruts, and he just decides to disconnect right in the middle of those ruts. Well, every time every single other person racing goes up to that same corner, they're going to see this humongous ghost right in the position where that dude left. And this happens in pro races. This happens all the time. Like, in a pro race, you'll have 5 or 6, 7 spots on the track where rage quitters have quit, and you're seeing their ghost on the track. And it's just so stupid. It can really affect your vision on actually seeing certain ruts, especially eroded ruts that change over time. You got to deal with this damn ghost rider stuck in certain areas where people have disconnected, and it's just so, it's so pointless. Like, JLV, dog, when someone disconnects, erase them completely off of the track. I don't want to see a ghost of where they disconnected at. It's just, like, it's so stupid. It's so low level. I just don't even understand how that's a thing in this game at all. And so please, JLV, fix that. I do not want to see a ghost in every rutted corner where somebody is disconnected and it's hard to see the rut in the corner. It's just so frustrating, man. It's like, it just takes your focus off of the corner. You know how much focus MX Simulator takes? Well, when you got all these ghosts where people have left in the corners right in the ruts where you can't see exactly where that eroded rut has developed, then it's such a frustrating, annoying thing in the game. So another thing is, have you guys ever been sitting in a lobby and you finish the race and you sit there for another 5 hours before it actually restarts because nobody wants to restart and everybody's away from keyboard? Have you ever had that happen before? Well, yeah, that happens all the freaking time in MX Simulator because there's no auto restart. I mean, you got to have a certain amount of people that actually request a restart before it restarts, no matter what. And I've had this happen multiple times in qualifying servers, which is super annoying. You'll have, like, let's just say there's 10 people in a server and you all start racing, and then you finish the race. Well, let's just say 6 of those people are just jacking around, not finishing the race, or they're away from keyboard, they're not even there. Well, if you finish the race, you will literally sit there until those people either come back, or you have to have at least half of the people restart before it'll actually restart the server. It will not just automatically restart it. So if those 6 people that left, if they're away from keyboard and they never come back, that server will never restart. Oh, it's just so stupid. Like, you need to put some sort of system, give it a certain time, like a 2-minute, 3-minute after, most people have finished the race, or the people that are not away from keyboard have finished the race. Give it like a 3, 4, 5-minute maybe time zone before it just automatically restarts the server no matter what. That needs to be in this game, JLV. Needs to, really bad. I mean, if you have somebody causing complete havoc in an online server and they're not just missing a ton of timing gates, there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And it's just a frustrating thing. I mean, honestly, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like at any point in time, you should be allowed to vote to kick whoever you want to. And if there's a certain amount of people that vote that person out, they just automatically get kicked out. And you should not allow them to join back in for like a certain amount of time, right? That's one really frustrating thing. You can kick somebody and they can join right back in. It's so stupid. Like, the kick system is such a flawed thing in MX Simulator. It needs to be something to where you can kick somebody no matter what is going on, and then they have to like wait an hour before they can join back in the server or whatever. I think that's how it should be. Obviously, it could have some little problems where if you get a bunch of haters of whoever, they could just keep on kicked out of every single server, but at the same time, I think it would level itself out, right? If you're really hated in the community, you can't get on any server, and that's just the way it is. So, you know, it's kind of your own damn fault in a certain sense there, but yeah, I think that would be a better system than this just random, like, oh, this guy's completely terrorizing everybody on this server, but hey, we can't do anything about it. He's not missing timing gates, or hey, this guy's acting crazy, but you know what? The auto kick doesn't do anything because he can just join right back in. So it just seems kind of stupid to me. But another thing that I would like to have, and this thing is very minute, is you know how, like, let's just say you're trying to go on there and get a really fast gameplay for a YouTube video, or you're trying to go on there and do whatever, working on a custom track, whatever you want to do. Well, you have to actually go in there and hit tab and then go click on new race and then actually pick the track that you're on and go to it every single time you want to start back over at the gate. Where is the hot button for that? Where is the hotkey for that? We need a hotkey for that. You know how many times I have to restart to get these damn wide open videos, man? Like, I'm spending, I don't know, fucking hour long worth of time just having to hit tab, go in there and click on hit new race and do that. Yes, this is a very minute thing, but if there was just a hotkey function for that, to just hit new race on the track that you were on, right? So like, you're just sitting there riding like this right here, you can just go in there and hit, like, I don't know, hit T or whatever, and it just automatically puts you right back at the start of the gate there, right? Like, it just automatically starts loading the track back in. I think that is something that really needs to be put into the game. And there's just a plethora of other stuff. I mean, still the legs popping off at completely random times, the collision where people can just run you over like a freight train, and bumper car simulator, a lot of little things like that could be fixed with MX Simulator. But I just wanted to go over some of the little frustrating things that I just don't understand why they haven't been fixed yet. You know, the Minimap issues and certain stuff like that. I just don't understand why those things have not been adjusted on, and it's just something that can definitely be frustrating there, but is what it is, I guess. It just may be changed in the future, may not be changed in the future. I'm not really sure, but and then also sometimes when you hop into MX Simulator and your entire setup is like totally erased, like totally put back to stock. I don't know why that happens sometime in this game, but that is very frustrating. It takes you 30 minutes just to go back in there and put all your setup stuff back in. And I've even I had one problem where I would go in there and it would like totally erase my registration key. It done that like 10 times in a row for no apparent reason. And you have to go back in there, figure out your registration key, put that back in. Not really sure why it does that little stuff. Some little buggy stuff with MX Simulator. That stuff's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can go back in there and put your stuff back in. But some of the server, you know, other player, being able to kick other players, all that little kind of stuff definitely has some issues with the game still. But yeah, man, just some stuff I want to see changed in the game, and definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll take a look at it. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.